Hey guys, it's your boy Pooh, and today I'm going to give my review on Predator Badlands. Now, this is the latest installment in a fairly mediocre list of movies, even though the original Predator and Predator 2, and one or two other movies are really solid. In fact, I think Predator 1 is one of the best movies ever made. I think that its balance of characterization, humor, and horror is just perfect, and I think that it does a perfect subversion of the 80s action movie, and it just effortlessly slips from action to a sci-fi horror without you even noticing almost. So it is a really good movie. Now, to Predator Badlands, I will say that it is both solid, it's a solid movie, but also a little bit disappointing. Not in a horrible way. I think it's far better than some people are saying. I quite enjoyed it. And without spoiling, the premise is that a young, somewhat smaller predator is tasked with going to a death world called Genna and killing its most dangerous predator so he can become a fully fledged member of his clan. Now, I want to say that the good points of this film is that everything is serviceable. The action is good, the dialogue is usually fine, the story is solid, and though nothing really stood out as impeccable to me, I think the most interesting aspects of the film was the various different biomes, the different flora, the fauna, and also just the landscapes. They were so good. In fact, you get a very good look at the prime planet of the predators, and Genna is just very interesting to see. Now, I will say that some of Genna was pretty obviously blatantly ripped off from Warhammer 40k. However, other parts ranged from alright to fairly unique. Some of it was obviously not ripped off from it. And honestly, I think Games Workshop deserves to have some things ripped off from it because it is ripped off from everything else. So that is completely fine. Now, like I said, the action is very good, and I will say some of the lines were pretty humorous. I think my biggest gripes, other than a few cheesy lines and some unneeded plot devices, was that while they did fairly well with the plot that they gave, I wish it was just a different plot. There's a phenomenon that's been going on the last 30 years of filmmaking, or in television shows as well, and that is that stories cannot just be simple stories with interesting plots. They need to be subversive and change things. It's sort of the Black Sails problem. If you've ever seen the Black Sails show, it is a show that builds on the promise of showing you pirates in the golden age of piracy. However, other than like 2 scenes, you don't see pirates doing anything that you would consider piratical, that is in the classic sense. You don't see them raiding a bunch of ships. You don't see them in these. It's more of a political intrigue plot than a pirate plot, even though it promises pirate things. What we really need in the Predator franchise is a movie that takes the Predator archetype from Predator 1 and follow that protagonist on a simple mission with no alteration to what we have been promised or what we are given. We need a cool Predator, a veteran warrior, surviving, hunting, and killing, and then succeeding before being inducted back into his people. We don't need any, oh, but he went there without expecting X or meeting Y and it changes his personality for the better. No, man. Give us a cold-blooded hunter that does what he sets out to do. Sure, you can add in some twists. You can add in some colonial marines, you can add in some aliens, you can add in some different things. It's okay to add in certain twists, but it should not subvert the promise that you are given. And I won't spoil anything, but the promise of the film is not fulfilled, and it is very reminiscent of just how modern-day filmmaking does things. And it's the same problem with what I said that is Black Sails' problem. And it was one reason why Game of Thrones Season 8 was so bad. because it didn't give you what it was promising the last 7 seasons. And so, while Predator Badlands was not bad, I give it a 7 out of 10. I'm glad that I paid the ticket price. I'm glad I could support it. I'm glad we have more in the Predator franchise because it's one of my favorite science fiction franchises. I will say that I wish we just got what was promised, and we kind of didn't. But that aside, still think it's a solid movie, and if you guys see it, please let me know what you think in the comments, and I always appreciate your likes if you think I deserve it, and sharing always helps. Alright guys, have a great one, okay? Alright, see you!